Tony D and Little Joan with a screenwriter's rant on Pet Sematary Bloodlines. And I had to do a lot of research to figure out what the hell this was. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books. Links in the description. Comedy Horror in South Jersey. It's the Pineys, books 1 through 12, available at Amazon.com. Don't forget, Kindle Unlimited is free. I started doing a take of this, and I couldn't figure out what the hell this was. So I finally said, screw it, I'm going to do some research. Had to dig deep. But it's a prequel to the 2019 version of Pet Sematary, not the 1989 version of Pet Sematary with Herman Munster, but Herman Munster in that movie plays Judd Crandall. In this movie, it takes place, 20 years prior, and it's young Judd Crandall, so it's a prequel to the movie. I don't know why you need a prequel to Pet Sematary, but apparently somebody thought they could squeeze some more dollaroos out of this IP. Based on a novel by Stephen King, written by Lindsay Anderson Beer and Jeff Bluah, who wrote the 2019 movie. Directed by Lindsay Anderson Beer. For Paramount. I'm not thinking this is a good idea. No. A prequel? What is Hollywood doing with prequels? It drives me insane. Do you think people will just watch anything? Apparently you do. Prequels are really mostly unnecessary. Mostly unnecessary. No one was sitting around going, wow, that was a really good Pet Sematary movie. I wonder what the origin is of Judd Crandall. No one said that. No, back in 1989, when I saw the first Pet Sematary movie, I thought, oh, that was a pretty good horror movie. I wasn't sitting at home going, I wonder what the origin is of Judd Crandall. He seemed like a crazy cat. No. Because he was just a character in a movie. Not every character in a movie deserves his own movie. So, and will this even follow and set up the 2019 movie? Well, I guess. I mean, I think they made a sequel to Pet Sematary. So, I think there's the ability to make sequels if there's more to mine from the concept. But Pet Sematary is a pretty basic B concept of a horror movie. No shade to Stephen King. This is his deal. It's fine. I don't see what you're going to explore here that's going to blow people away. It's essentially going to be the same movie, right? Somebody gets buried in the pet cemetery and they come back to life, but that ain't that person. Yep. In this case, it's this dude, David Duchovny's son, who's in it for some reason. David Duchovny's also, I wouldn't have cast him in this. He seems like the wrong person for this movie. Does David Duchovny strike you as a, I don't know, guy who lived in Maine in the late 60s? On a farm? Nah. First off, why does he look so damn tired in every movie? Will someone get David Duchovny a cup of coffee? He looked just as tired in that movie with Meg Ryan. Barely, one scene I think he wakes up. In this movie, man, I mean, make him the zombie if you're going to put him in this movie. I think Mulder needs to be in a different movie. What movie? I mean, there's lots of, and I get it. Oh, you're typecasting him. But it's Mulder, Is he doing an accent? I don't think he is. I mean, Fred Gwynne, Herman Munster, did a spot-on accent. That was, his revival career. Fred Gwynne coming back, and he did a couple accents. He did the main accent, and then for my cousin Vinny, he did a different accent. Is that the same accent? It was similar. It was similar. But the Adventures of Judd Crandall. I mean, that's what this essentially you might as well have called it that. The Adventures of Judd Crandall. It's not that it's bad. Let me emphasize that. It doesn't look bad. It just looks so incredibly unnecessary. It's just like, well, we got to make a horror movie and we got to get people to see it. Let's tie it in to Pet Sematary. And I get that. However, there'll be Pet Sematary fans who will hate it simply because it doesn't tie in all that well, or importantly. Or like me, they don't really see the need for it. That's part of the problem. And then there are people who saw Pet Sematary in 2019 or even in 1989 and didn't like it. So they're not going to see it. So you'd be better off making a new movie anyway. Yes, people know the IP Pet Sematary, but it wasn't an IP that lent itself to more stories. Nobody watched Pet Sematary and say, gee, I wonder what would happen if they buried, I don't know, Batman in Pet Sematary or whatever. Like, no one was saying that. This just feels like, to me, a cash grab. Oh, let's do another Pet Sematary movie. We can't do another one. We just did one in 2019. All right, let's do a prequel. People love prequels. They don't. Stop making prequels. Okay, I can't. Look, the Star Wars prequels suck. All right, hot take. They suck. I know you already knew that if you watched my videos. I think they suck. They don't really tell you much of anything when you get right down to it, and they're too far apart to even remember. Does anybody remember the 2019 Pet Sematary movie? Maybe you do. I barely remember the 1989 one, and that was the good one, in my view. So Hollywood is just beating every concept to death, in my view. This is just another example of like, oh, we got an IP. It's just sitting here. Let's make some money. You know what makes money? Good original product. Okay? And let's say you got good people on this movie. Maybe they're good. Maybe this is a good movie. I don't know. I mean, it looks fun. But maybe it's really good. You'd have been better off giving them a new movie. Because a new movie would have started a whole new franchise. If that's what you want, writers can do that. I can do that. Anyone can do that who's a halfway decent good writer. They can make you a franchise. Talk to Me. Brand new franchise. Did pretty well in the movie theaters. Now they're making a sequel. All you got to do is keep the door just a little bit open so there's a potential for a sequel. That's it. That's all you need. And then boom, you're off to the races. Expand the concept. Because you left the door open. If you kill everybody in a movie, well, that's going to be a problem. So you don't do that. You leave the door open so there'll be more. Instead, Hollywood decides, well, we don't own those, so let's go back in our catalog and see what we own. I guess that's what this is. And it feels like it. Partly because he's got his little friends around him helping him. Like in It. So, I mean, if you want to do the Stephen King universe, I get it. But if you really want some sales, if you really want people to go nuts, I mean, how about, I don't know, It versus Pet Sematary or something like that? How about Christine versus It or something like that? Do some matchups. Cujo, throw Cujo in there. Cujo, Pet Sematary, throw them all in there. And then you could do maybe a Mel Brooks style Stephen King movie. How about that? That would be fun. I should write that. But this, I mean, again, I have no reason to see it. It's not that it's bad. I have no super desire to see it. I didn't watch the 1889 movie and go, God, I wonder what happened. How did Judd Crandall get here? I just watched it because it's just a movie. They're not that important, Hollywood. I know they're important to you because you own them, I assume. But how do we get out of this? Would be the question some of you movie fans are saying. As a real simple way, don't watch them. Don't watch them. If they're not watched, Hollywood will eventually go, we can't keep doing this. And then maybe we finally get to the point where Hollywood goes, well, it looks like we need something new. Call the writers back, end the strike. And that's it for me, Tony D, and Little Joan. Check us out on Odysee, Bitchute, and Rumble for our more base takes. If you can find a more base take than that, I say take it. I'll be at the Golden Nugget tomorrow for Wing Night. Wing Night and How to Hunt the Jersey Devil. Oh, it's going to be a good night. Just going to have to try to keep the wing sauce off my books, though. You can buy them, you can put all the sauce you want on them, but before you buy them, keep the wing sauce off my books. And that's it. We'll see you